Welcome to my site, welcome to the Tomb of Illumination. I thought I'd do a video on a different subject today, and that's regarding the legal system here in New Zealand. I was just cleaning up some files and came across an old court case I had. So I'll tell you the story. So I've been a builder all my life, right? I've been a good builder, and a lot of people know I'm a good builder, and I've always done a good job. I was doing a job for a lady once, a solo mother who was a psychiatrist with one daughter. She wanted a little house built out the back of her property, and I gave her a quote, $16,000 for the labour. This is like 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago, about that, maybe 25 years ago. That was everything: excavation, preparing the floor, laying the floor, concrete floor, 2 levels, high pitch roof. You know, it's a living area. It's just like a little house, but the living area is upstairs in the upper level. And so she got to a point, well, I had some downtime waiting for something. So she got me to start on in her house doing her bathroom. And you know, it got to a point where I carried on back at the house, the little house, and somewhere along the line she must have run out of money or something, and so she got together with some other single guy down the road and decided I was charging too much. So she wasn't paying me all this certain amount of money. I can't quite remember. Maybe it's $2,500. Maybe it's the portion owing on the bathroom, the $2,500. So eventually we had to go to the Disputes Tribunal, and so I'm trying to claim this $2,500, and she turns up and straight off the bat starts telling all these lies. And the female adjudicator there, so this is a Disputes Tribunal where they have some JP, I think it's a Justice of the Peace or something. She's adjudicator, and she, you know, female, so she's sitting there listening to this woman, listening to everything she's saying, and looking at me like I'm Miss Dr. Evil. And I'm just stunned at how she could just sit there and spin all these lies, and I could just see this lady sympathising for her. And so then it came my turn to talk, but it didn't mean anything because she's made up this lie that I knew nothing about. So I couldn't defend myself. It came out of the blue. So the case finished up, or that day finished up, then we had to come back. Or maybe it was based on that case. She later on we get the verdict that I lost, she won, I owe her $2,500. So she owed me $2,500. I take it to the Disputes Tribunal. Next thing, I'm supposed to give her $2,500 based on her lies. And I think the original lie was I used cheap products. This is right. There's a couple of issues. One, when she's got me to put the bathroom in, the bath, you fit the bath against the wall, and she's got a bedroom on the other side of the wall. So she was complaining there was noise from the bathroom into her bedroom. And it's not normal for us to insulate between the rooms. We've never done it before, so I didn't do it. But anyway, she is complaining about that. And then she was complaining that I use second-rate materials on this bedroom, this little house out the back. So the bathroom is normal construction, and the story with the house at the back is, this is the kicker. She was paying for the materials. I was purchasing them through the #1 timber store in the area. Quality materials. I mean, no point buying second-hand. They don't have seconds anyway at that place. And why would I? Because she's paying for it anyway. And what it turned out to be is the handrail down the stairwell the plasterers had done their work and she hadn't sealed anything. They put a bit of milk in their plaster now and then. It must have been the milk or just the plaster alone. Drips onto the handrail, the pine handrail. And it got some mould in it, like black spots and stuff. I think that was all it is. And she's accusing me of buying second-rate materials or something or other. So next time we went back to court, I had to take the invoice and show them that they're on her account. She paid for this quality material from a quality timber yard. But that didn't matter because this woman here decides to spin some more lies on something else. One of the lies was, I think the initial lie was that she said I did all this work on a certain date and I wasn't even there on that date. I was on another job and I could prove all that with my diary and that. So then we had to go away and come back again. She comes in with the diary. This went on for like 2 years. So after a year she comes in with some diary she had found and filled it out herself and started putting all this stuff in there. And then I had to go away and prove that those dates were wrong and I didn't do that. Oh, but at the end of the day, after 2 years, this dudicator decides, oh, it's too complicated. Nobody wins. 2 years of having this liar accusing me of certain things, who owed me $2,500, gets off scot-free. She had a connection with the courts because you know what she does? I think I might have mentioned it, I'm not sure, but anyway, she determines whether a father in a separation case is fit enough to see his children. This loony, as mad as a 2-bob watch, has the authority over normal men as to whether they can see their children or not. This is the sickening thing. Forget my $2,500 problem. That is just, it was sick. It was like gut-wrenching to know that this loony determined whether a man could see his own children. She was a sick, evil piece of dirt. So that was the story I wanted to share. It's a long time ago. I don't like to bring these things up, but I just thought it was worth talking about. This is the New Zealand legal system. These little court setups, what do you call them? Forget the name now. Anyway, it's supposed to be for this little guy who can't afford the big law cases. And this is what it is. It's just a joke. And years before that, there was another time I went to the small claims court, judiciary. And it was about, I hired a generator to run my compressor. And I was a bit sceptical about the power of this generator, whether it would run the compressor. You have to have enough amps to run this compressor or you burn it out. So I gave the guy all the details. He reckoned he knew what he was talking about. He swore that, no, it'll run it. I get to the job, it starts burning out my generator, compressor. End of the day it did. So then I go back to his shop. I'm not going to tell him. I'm going to hire his compressor with his generator and use his compressor. And that burnt out his compressor. It was started to, but I quickly stopped and took it all back to him. And where things fell down is the fact that I settled the check and everything, but I didn't want to say anything because I think I damaged his compressor. I already know he's ruined mine. So I filled it all out and then later went and closed the check, wrote the check off. And because of that, I lost the case. So that guy ruined my compressor, burnt it out, he gets away with it. I lose the case, only because I wrote the check off. I've got to go.